Hello, everyone. It's time for Van Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. I'm your host, Pete Costanos. This is episode 289, season 12. Today's date is December 23rd, 2023, and welcome to the show. I haven't done one since last weekend. On today's program, I will talk about my memories of Christmas fruitcakes in Chicago. Well, it wouldn't be Christmas without them. That's how I see it. Also, second topic will be something that's not Christmassy at all. It's the 50th anniversary of the 1973 movie, The Exorcist. And I'll talk about my memories of that movie. And that should be very interesting indeed. Okay, first the program will go into a commercial break. And this program is brought to you by Zare. Of course, we all remember Zare. And here's a Christmas commercial from 1979. And I remember this one very well. So sit back and relax, and I'll be right back with the program, folks. Thank you.
Hey, look what Zare has for Christmas.
Take another look, take another look, take another look at Zare.
And save.
Take another look at all the fashions there.
There's something at Zare for everyone.
Take another look at Zare. Take another look, compare.
Super gifts. Super savings.
Take another look at all the values there.
Just look at Zare for Christmas.
Take another look
Come in and look.
at Zare.
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the commercial for Zare. Remember this commercial very well during the Christmas season. This is around when I was in high school. The only Zare I visited was located on the southwest side of Chicago on West Columbus Avenue, right next to the Double Drive-In Theater. My mom shopped there all the time. She loved that store. I did too, and there was another store next door to it. Well, not really next door, but it was there. It was called Wiseway. It was a grocery store, and that was great. It was a good grocery store. You know, I think there's one still in existence in Indiana, I believe. As for Zare, they opened in the I don't know, maybe early 60s, I believe. Their headquarters was in Massachusetts, outside of Boston, a suburb called Framingham. And then they were very successful. It was had good clothes, Christmas stuff, toys, anything you wanted. Their commercials were everywhere. Their advertisements were all over the newspapers, the Chicago Sun-Times, Chicago Tribune. Then all of a sudden, it stopped about 1990. It didn't last very long, you know. And it was acquired by Ames store. I'll talk about that store one day. And then, so a lot of people still remember to the store to this day. They either liked it or they didn't care for it, but they worked there. I applied for a job there when I was in high school. Didn't get it. That's always happened to me. And so that's another retail store that vanished, which is a shame. You could that commercial you could still find it on YouTube. There's still a few more there if you'd like, especially Christmas time. It's nice to go back and see. Okay. At the beginning of the program, I mentioned I'm going to talk about two things: my memories of Christmas fruitcakes in Chicago, also the 50th anniversary of the release of the 1973 movie, The Exorcist. Before I get started, I'm going to talk about a couple things. One, recently on my Facebook page or my group, I'm getting some weird messages from people saying they're not in a group, but they're receiving notifications, and I don't know what's going on. I'm not doing it. I don't know. Maybe Facebook's doing it or something like that. But I just got another one today, from somebody, and I noticed it's written in French or something. For some reason, somebody's put notification. It's not me. I don't know what's happening. And then I remember there was this woman that called yesterday. She tried to call. Well, I was out. I was out to dinner, so I didn't pick up my phone. I don't want to answer while I'm eating because that's kind of rude, unless it's an emergency. So I just emailed her back and I explained what's going on, and then she stopped calling. I hope she understood. I mean, I apologize for the inconvenience. She says, I'm not in this group. I'm getting notifications. Will you please stop it? I'm not doing this. I don't know what's going on. It's just bizarre. And that's, I don't know. Facebook is great sometimes. Sometimes it's funky. It does weird stuff. Like, I don't know. It's weird like that. Sometimes I got banned, and or like restricted a few times because of some bots that are running Facebook because they see something offensive or like that. It's bizarre. And now I run a Facebook group for it's called Classic Ford City Memories / Peacock Alley, which is that's the mall that's located on the southwest side of Chicago on 76th Street in Cicero. It's still there. But this is about memories when I was a teenager, when I was little, and I post pictures and people loved that, and a lot of people contributed. And like I think around Thanksgiving, it disappeared, and I tried to search for it. Nothing. I have another profile. I tried to look for it. Nothing. I don't know what happened. It just vanished. It's, you know, just like what I talk about on my page. It's gone like that. So I don't know why. I was going to ask Facebook what happened. I go, no. But, I have a funny feeling somebody might have banned me or something, or someone in the group did something, posted something offensive or mean spirited or racist. I don't know. I don't know. So we'll see. So it's been almost a month. So maybe it's coming back tomorrow, or maybe not coming back at all. Nevertheless, I've created a new group after what happened, and I notified people. This is a new group. I explained I explained everything what happened. They're like they're bewildered, and so was I. So hopefully, if the old group returns, I will get rid of the new group, and then we'll have that one. I hope that happens. If not, then at least we have a group. At least I have a group to run, so that's great. So I'll post more stuff to get the ball rolling like that, because I had about 8,000 members, which is pretty good. A lot of people lived in the area, and but I only have about 300 now. That's very small. So maybe I got to get going. I got to let people know like that. Got to share it. Okay, and we'll see what happens. Fingers crossed. All right. Right now, we're going to talk about my memories of Christmas fruitcakes in Chicago. Now, this is something a lot of people either love it or you hate it, or and it's just a joke to most people. Because I think it started on the media, or like from television or from comedians, about fruitcakes. So sometimes fruitcake is made with candy or dried fruits, nuts, and spices. Okay, sounds normal, like that. And They were just invented way back in ancient Rome, way down, long time ago. And various countries make them. Especially New England, not New England, England. Excuse me, New England's here, and it's. I've heard it's a big hit over there, from what I understand. So they started mail order fruitcakes around the 1910s, and there's a company called the Claxton Bakery. They're located in Claxton, Georgia, and they're a big company, and they make fruitcakes, and they send them to everywhere. And they send them to charities and to monasteries and abbeys and all types of people, and they love it. People love it so much, And then there was mass produced, and then so. And then, I when I was little, I tried it once, and it was okay. I'm not crazy about fruit. Like in a cake, not on top, maybe not, but not inside. Except, when you have strawberry shortcake, which I love. That's awesome, like that. And but it's traditional. It's traditional. Yeah. And when I don't know if this started. In the media, like on the radio, maybe, but and on television, it's the most ridiculed dessert of all time. And some people said that when Johnny Carson hosted the Tonight Show, he started making fun of this all the time. I remember he did this all the time. He was just every Christmas he did this. I remember that. He made fun of the fruitcakes, like you would use it for a doorstop, you would use it for a frisbee, you would use it for a spare tire for your car, or you just hit. If your burglar came to your house, you would just hit him on the head. All kinds of stuff. And also, he invited this guest. Her name was the Fruitcake Lady, and she was known as the Fruitcake Lady, and she was the aunt of Truman Capote. He was the author of Breakfast at Tiffany's, and she would make make fruitcakes, or told how to make different different recipes, and excuse me. So it's hilarious. It really is, And then on their TV shows, they did that for a while. I don't know about now, but a lot of people don't really care for it now, especially the younger generation. No, I don't think so. As for me, I'm not crazy about it. I wouldn't eat it, but my mother loves it. She loves this cake. She hasn't made it yet, but she loves it. So yeah, good for her. Other memories of the Christmas fruitcakes were going to the store and buy them, or when I saw them. Like, for example, you saw them at Jewel, Dominic's. I'm sure Jewel has them now. I'm sure. National Foods, Hilo, A&P, which I posted a photo yesterday. It was A&P. Also, the Jane Parker brand. They probably made those. And I believe they still make them online. It's a possibility. I think so, but AP is gone. So, and other companies like that. And what I like about fruitcakes, it's very colorful. It's red and green, and you see the nuts and all that. It's a very pretty dessert around Christmas time. You have Jell-O. You have Jell-O. You also have the eggnog, which it's yellow. I talked about eggnog before, but that's how it is. Like that. And some people say, that's my grandmother's cake, or they say that with Jell-O. It's like my grandmother's. But I like Jell-O myself. I love it. My mom makes it very good. And fruitcakes, well, if you love them, that's great. If you don't like them, that's fine with me or with other people. Other people say it's not too sweet. Sometimes they add liquor in it. They probably do. Maybe it's tastier, like a rum cake. Maybe, I know they make rum cakes for Christmas like that. Also, another for bakeries, the two bakeries in Chicago that we all are best know, well, maybe there's three there is, was Bernie Brothers, Dressel's, and Davidson's. I don't know Dressel's made it. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know, but I know Bernie Brothers did. They made fruitcakes, and I did see it when I was a kid. Also, Davidson's. They had some locations on the north side of Chicago. They had one in the Chicago Loop. Maybe they did. Maybe they had them on display in their windows. So I don't know. I have no idea. Okay, so when Christmas is coming soon, so you still have time to get a fruitcake if you're in the mood after hearing this episode. Go ahead. We'll see. All right. Now, I'm going to talk about the 50th anniversary of the 1973 movie, The Exorcist. And it was a supernatural horror film directed by William Friedkin. He was a great movie director. He just died this past August 7th. He was from Chicago, and it's one of his best known movies. The other one was The French Connection. That wasn't a scary movie. That was like a chase movie, but it had the greatest chase scenes in that, and it was wonderful. It really was. And The Exorcist, it's based on a book, or and a screenplay by an author. His name was William Peter Blatty, and he wrote the book in 1971. Now, I don't know how well the book did. I assume very well. And then they probably got the movie rights to direct, to have the film directed. Okay, so and then they got the cast, and we all know the people in the cast well known. We have Ellen Burstyn, and she played Chris McNeil, and we also have Linda Blair. She played Reagan McNeil, and also was Max von Sydow played Father Lancaster Marin, and also Jason Miller, which was Dr. Damien Karras. He was in that movie. And he is Jason Patrick's father, the actor, which is he was Jackie Gleason's first son-in-law. So I never knew that until later on. He played the role very well like that. Anyway, so the movie, I'm not going to give away most of the movie because maybe some people haven't seen it. I'm sure everyone has, but the funny thing about this, when they filmed this movie, it was somewhat cursed. Like there were some weird things going on. Some people died, some were injured. They had some unusual accidents, and it was just weird. And so let's see. So the movie was released on December 26, 1973, on Boxing Day in the United States. I think it premiered in 2 movie theaters in the Loop, Chicago Loop. And there are pictures on the internet you see, and people were waiting in line. You could see it on the movie marquee and all that. So right now I'm going to play the TV trailer of The Exorcist. When I first saw the TV trailer for the Exorcist, That scared me to death too. I mean, I didn't see anything very graphic or very frightening, but it looked frightening. But when this came out in '73, I was about 10 years old, and it was to me was a very harrowing experience. Okay, so I will play the TV spot, and when I come back, I will talk about my first time seeing the movie. Okay. So sit back and relax, and here's the TV spot for the 1973 horror classic, The Exorcist.
Life had been good to Chris McNeil. She was a successful actress. Her daughter Reagan was a happy, healthy 12-year-old. Until that night at the party, when a terrible force entered their lives, and strange things began to happen. Nobody expected it. Nobody believed it, and nothing could stop it.
I'm bringing you that thing upstairs isn't my daughter. You tell me you know for a fact that an exorcism wouldn't do any good. You tell me that!
The one hope. The only hope. The Exorcist. Rated R.
Mother, what's wrong with me?
Okay, everyone, I am back. I hope you enjoyed the TV spot for the 1973 horror classic, The Exorcist. You know what? I remember watching this when I was a kid, and it scared me to death. It really did. Because, well, you don't see the demon, and you don't see Reagan turn into that, not on TV. You have to go see it in the theater, her transformation. Also, I left out one important cast member was the demon's voice, and that was actress Mercedes McCambridge. And she was in a lot of movies, and she did the voice, and she was, oh my gosh, she was like, I thought it was a man doing that, but it was her, She's from Illinois. She was from Joliet, I believe. And she was a wonderful radio actress, movie actress, stage actress. She was great, and she was a very interesting person like that. Now, the first time I saw this movie was not in the theater. It was on TV. I'm sure they edited this out. I'm sure they edited some parts. But when I first saw it, maybe I was about 12 or 13. And it was scary. It really was. And I think they showed it in two parts, maybe. I think it was on Channel 5 or not Channel 7. No, I think Channel 5 or Channel 2. I think one of those two channels. And I remember the kids at school, they said, The Exorcist is going to be on. I go, oh, no. They say, Peter, you're going to watch the movie? Well, I don't know. Should I watch this movie? Because, a couple of kids went to see it in the theater with their parents. And they said, why? And then one said, it didn't bother me. Other kids said, no, I had nightmares for days. So other people, adults, still have nightmares from this movie. So anyway, I watched it. I think I watched it with my brothers, one of my brothers, that is, and we liked it. It was good. Linda Blair put on a great performance. She was excellent, and Ellen Burstyn was as well. Also the two priests, the actors that played them. But, it's a kind of movie that you can't take your eyes off, but you were frightened all the time. And I was like, either I would take the covers or just close my eyes like that. And, but it's an excellent movie. It really is. And it still holds up, and it's wonderful. And it's one of the greatest horror movies ever, And they made a sequel called Exorcist II, The Heretic. I remember the advertising during, on TV. It was like 1979. I was in high school. It's not like that one. It was different. It was a very different movie. It wasn't very good. And then they released the third one. I think with George C. Scott. That was later on. He said in an interview he said he loved the movie. He liked to be scared. He liked to do that. He enjoyed it. It didn't do very well. Then they did a remake of it recently. I have not seen it. I don't think I want to see it. Maybe it's scarier than that one, or it's not as good. But people are fussy. They like the original, which I don't blame them. I really did. But it is, like I said before, the movie is a classic. It is a classic. So, and the media buzz was at the time around 1973 was all over, and people waited in line. I saw pictures on the internet. I remember commercials when I was a little kid. I saw newsreels of that, and they wanted to see it. And I don't know how the audience reacted in the theaters. Either they loved it, or they fainted, or they just ran out of the theater screaming. Probably did that. I don't know. So I'm glad I talked about this. But that, what was the scariest thing is, there's a few scenes in the movie that's very scary. Of course, with the head turning and the pea soup. Yeah, that's gross. Also, when Reagan is elevated on the bed, and that voice, she's the demon's voice. Oh my God, she didn't sound like a little girl at all. She's like that, and she caused a lot of destruction. Well, the demon, it possessed her, so it was scary. So but her mother held on to her. She was a great trooper. Good for her. Okay. Excuse me. So that is it for this show. I'll do a recap of what I talked about. I talked about my memories of Christmas fruitcakes in Chicago. Excuse me, and the 50th anniversary of the horror classic of the 1973 movie, The Exorcist. Okay, so this podcast will be published later on today, wherever podcasts are available: Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, also Breaker, Overcast. Also be on my blog, vanishchicagoland.blog. Also be on my YouTube channel. People still ask me, where do I find your podcast? You can find it on my YouTube channel. Just do a search on YouTube for Vanish Chicagoland Stories. Hit the subscribe button. You'll find it. And you can follow on the apps as well. Also, we post on my social media accounts: Facebook, X, Reddit, LinkedIn, Threads, and also Instagram. You would find those. Okay. So, as for tomorrow, I don't think I'll do a podcast tomorrow. I don't think so. It's Christmas Eve, so, I'm not busy, so, I feel like it's the holiday season, so we'll see if I have time. If not, no. I will definitely do one probably Tuesday. Yeah, I will probably do one Tuesday, right after Christmas. So we'll see about that. Okay. So this is Pete Castanis, your host for Vanish Chicagoland Stories, the podcast. Thank you for joining me. I hope everyone have a wonderful holiday. Merry Christmas. Today's weather is like foggy, kind of drab and dark, and no snow. We have no snow. We're not going to have a white Christmas. We're going to have a rainy Christmas. Sounds like a London Christmas. Oh well, we can't have everything. Anyway, so so Merry Christmas from me to everyone, and I hope you have a wonderful holiday season. Okay. So here's bye-bye for me, and here's Ray Rayner with a little traveling music saying bye, bye, bye. Take care, everyone, and so long.
We have to go. Bye, bye, bye.